Hello, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is I've Got Guts, a podcast about living and thriving with chronic illness.
And all the things that take guts to say out loud.
We're here to talk about the hard stuff, the stuff that's messy, complicated, and often left unsaid.
From chronic illness to everyday life, we're creating space for honest conversations, real connection, and a lot of laughs along the way.
And just so we're clear, we are not medical professionals. We're just two best friends sharing what we've learned and what we're still figuring out.
So you don't have to do it alone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, and welcome back.
Yeah, and we just went through some statistics, and we have lots of new listeners. So welcome everybody new that's tuning in.
Yeah, we're so excited you're here.
Yeah.
All right, let's kick things off with some thorns and roses.
Let's do it. Let's get those thorns out of the way.
All right, I'll go first.
All right, what do you got?
It's my esophagus.
Again,
it's
freaking esophagus.
Okay, maybe I'll change it. It's really eating.
I know. It's been hard to watch you
It's been hard to eat, and it's been hard to get food down. So that's definitely been a thorn. So just kind of timing things correctly, making sure I have enough liquid and the right kind of liquid.
Yeah.
You made the most delicious dinner last night, Rome, and I wanted to get it in my belly so bad, but it was a laborious.
It was.
Okay, and what was it? What was that pasta again? Orzo?
Orzo.
Yeah, it was. You've got to share this recipe with everybody. It was so delicious.
Right? And that one I've never done before, so I was like, you guys are my...
Oh, it was so good. And those chunks of cheese in there.
Halloumi cheese.
All right. We've got to share this recipe.
I'll share this
with the listeners. You guys would love it. It was so creamy, and it was just like a wholesome,
very summery.
Yes.
I feel like I had to get out of the way before we're not in summer anymore.
Yeah, because it had a nice, like, lemony but salty feel. It was so good. Yeah. But it was challenging to get down for me.
But I'm going to send you home the leftovers so that when you're ready to receive, you can have whatever you want.
Thank you. You're the best.
Anytime. I got your back.
All right, Rim, what's your thorn?
Well, mine has to do with my fertility journey.
All right, tell us what's going on.
Last episode, I told everybody my new diagnosis, the adenomyosis. We finally, after having a transfer, like a loss of an embryo in July, we finally just talked to a doctor.
Like, it just really is bananas to me. I understand that this is the process, but yikes.
So we talked to the doctor, and she mapped out the next part of our plan, and it's really intense. And it wasn't, I was expecting it, but hearing it like finite, like this is what you have to do, was a lot. So for everyone who's been following, I've already been through 2 egg retrievals. I've already been through 2 transfers. But with this new diagnosis, I have to go through another egg retrieval. And I have to also thaw out my 3-day embryos and push them to be 5-day embryos. And then we're going to combine what we get from the egg retrieval and we're going to take a sample out of all of them and send them off to be PGT tested. So that means they take a small part of the embryo to test to see if it's got all the right chromosomes. And the reason for this, the doctor said, is because with adenomyosis, there's no fix.
Right.
They're basically putting a Band-Aid on it to get me pregnant. So they'll suppress me, which adenomyosis is fueled by hormones. So they're going to shut off my hormones for 3 months.
Okay.
So she basically said, we want to bank good embryos because we want to be able to put them in you back to back to back, because eventually the suppression is going to wear off.
Right.
And I don't know how many times you can suppress without
have consequences, right?
Yeah. So my body's going to go through quite a bit in the next 9 to 10 months. And it's a lot to wrap my head around mentally, physically, emotionally. And I know this will hopefully bring us our baby, but it does feel like a thorn right now because it's we've already been doing this for a year and
overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming.
Right. It's a tough journey. It is. And I feel like you've been so positive and optimistic through it all, and you're so strong, both of you. And this is just a new plan. Yeah, a new plan.
But you know what? I'm thankful for a few things. I'm thankful she was talked us out of doing some tests that would have cost a lot of money. She's like, what's the point?
Right. I love that too.
Yeah.
So you know that you can trust what she's recommending is what is necessary.
Yeah. And I was also grateful that she didn't jump to, and a lot of doctors do this, and I think it's terrible. She didn't jump to say, oh, you're going to have to use donor eggs.
They would
And
say that to you?
Yes. And you know,
Like, I feel like the timing, if that needs to be said, the timing needs to be very careful.
that's a very personal decision.
Yeah.
And donor eggs can lead to people having their beautiful babies, and that is a personal choice. But I personally, I want my baby.
Right. And that's your choice.
I know not everybody might
feel that way.
And everybody might not understand that, but I've always wanted that. And that's just how I feel about my journey.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And you've got to honor that.
Yeah.
You've got to honor that. Makes sense. It does.
Yeah. So it'll probably be a thorn for a little while, but I'm going to do my best to use my strategies and not feel down about it.
Right. Because you have
baby steps. Our friend Taryn told me, take it one chunk at a time. Like,
there you go.
Think about one thing, the first thing you need to get through. And then when that's done, think about the next thing.
Yes. Like little bite-sized pieces. Because when you try to take one big bite,
too much.
It's too much in the old mouth.
The belly can't handle that.
It's like a slow snail.
Oh, gosh.
All
right, let's cheer ourselves up here.
Okay.
What's your rose?
Okay, so my rose is, I just had an amazing run on the way here to your house today. So I'm training for a half marathon, and I'm getting closer and closer to the date.
It's coming up.
So October 25th, I'm running the Ellicottville Halloween half marathon. And I've never been to Ellicottville, and it's a town kind of, I guess, in between here and Buffalo, but is it more westish, I think? And I'm so excited. I guess I heard it's like this cute little Hallmark town. Yeah. And there's all these Halloween festivities. And guess what I'm going to run as? My costume.
What?
The Statue of Liberty.
For Connor. In honor of Connor. I love it.
And he got the Statue of Liberty crown when we went to New York City this summer. So I'm going to run as the Statue of Liberty. And I'm just so excited. So every good run I have, I'm like, yes, great run. Like I'm doing great with my training. I'm feeling really good. And it just puts me in such a good mood.
I love this for you.
Yeah, a little 4 miles here to you today. And then tomorrow I'm doing 7.5.
Oh, God.
I know.
I'll say a prayer for you.
I mean, I'm excited though. I actually get excited, and then I like map out my route, and then I map out what I'm going to listen to and who I'm going to call.
I could see myself getting excited about it if I was like spying in different neighborhoods and looking at houses there.
I do have to say that has been really fun moving into our new neighborhood, exploring new neighborhoods. Yeah. And I'm like, ooh, where am I going to go today? You know?
Yeah, so I like that. It's an adventure.
It is. So that's my rose, my good run, and my upcoming half marathon. What's your rose?
My rose is actually a very small, simple one. But after we got off the phone with the doctor the other day, our neighbor, Deb, came over, which she's also our Reiki master. But she's been in Alaska for the last 2 weeks. And she gave us a key to her house and told us to watch over it. But like, we didn't have to do anything. We have to water plants. We just lived, you know. But she wanted to say thank you for watching her house. And she brought me the most beautiful flowers. And it was like just literally 30 minutes after I had that phone call. And it was everything that I needed. It just brightened up my day so much.
And these flowers are gorgeous.
Right?
They're huge sunflowers, and they look so beautiful. They almost look fake. They look so beautiful.
I just thought it was like kind of ironic. Like I needed some sunshine that day, and she brought me the most beautiful sunflowers.
I know. I love it. Oh, Deb is so thoughtful.
I love her so much.
Bright spot in your day.
She really is.
All right.
Well, what do you think? Should we get into it?
Let's get into our episode today. I'm excited for this.
Me too. So today we're talking about something that we both get a lot of questions about, actually, and that's naturopathic and holistic doctors.
Dun, dun, dun.
Are they worth it? How do you find one? What should you expect if you go? And how do they differ from your regular primary care doctor?
Yeah, so let's start with clearing something up that we've kind of learned through our research. Yeah. When people say holistic doctor, it's really more of an umbrella term. So holistic medicine is about looking at the whole person, your mind, your body, and your spirit, not just one symptom at a time. And actually, this one kind of hits close to home for me because my brother, Kevo, is Kevin, but Connor calls him Kevo, and it's stuck. Kevo is actually seeing a holistic doctor right now for his Crohn's disease and Hashimoto's, and he's had some really amazing success with it. So I've gotten to see firsthand how powerful this approach can be.
Yeah, and it's so amazing that Kevin is doing so well under the care of his holistic doctor. And I know it was like a really bumpy road for him trying to figure out what was wrong.
Yeah, I feel really bad. Like, I want to say it was like months, if not maybe some years of working through his digestive
He didn't
issues.
even know what was wrong with him.
Right. And we are going to be having him on so we can hear his side of the story. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, me too. I also think it's important to note that a holistic doctor can be a broader term. So sometimes it's a chiropractor, a nutritionist, a functional medicine practitioner, or an MD/DO who uses like a more integrative approach.
Yes. And I feel like my mind was just blown as we dove into this and started talking to people, because under the holistic umbrella, you find different types of practitioners. One group is homeopathic practitioners.
This blew my mind.
Me too. Me too. So homeopathy is one of the oldest forms of holistic medicine. And the idea is like cures like. And it's using very small, highly diluted amounts of a substance to trigger the body's healing response. So my friend Christy actually went to school for homeopathy. So I've learned from her that it is technically energy medicine because the remedy is made out of the energy of whatever the crude substance is.
My mind is so blown.
I know, right? And she said, like, for an example, the arnica, for example, is made of the arnica montana flower, but there is no actual substance of the flower left in the dilution. It's just the energy of what was there. So it almost made me feel like a little bit like connected to Reiki and just energy. And it was so interesting talking to Christy. Yeah. And it's just fascinating because, well, naturopathic and holistic doctors would use homeopathy in their practice. Many of them are not actual homeopaths because that is a different thing.
I never knew this until Christy, filled us in on this.
I know. Honestly, I'll be honest. When we started doing research for this episode, when I reached out to Christy, I really thought she was going to school to become a naturopathic. She's like, no, Lauren, let me give you the rundown. I'm like, thank you.
Gosh, that is so cool.
Yes, it really is.
Well, that brings us to the group that we want to focus on today, though. We want to focus on naturopathic doctors, or NDs. And these are practitioners who attend accredited naturopathic medical schools. And their training covers natural therapies like nutrition, lifestyle changes, and herbal medicine. But in some states, they are also licensed and regulated to diagnose, run labs, and even prescribe medication. But I think the biggest thing is they focus on the root cause of the problem.
Right.
And the key thing to understand is that while all of these, like holistic doctors, naturopathic doctors, and homeopathic practitioners, they fall under the same big umbrella, they're not the same thing.
Right.
Each has a very different philosophy and scope of practice. So for this episode, we're going to zoom in on naturopathic doctors, what their training looks like, what they can and can't do depending on where they practice, and how they might fit into your healthcare journey.
Yeah. So of course, us teachers, wanted to do a little homework before the episode. And we actually found a really helpful article called Naturopathic Doctors, an Underutilized Resource of Whole Health. It's published on PubMed, so it's coming from a credible source. You know us.
We love a credible source. I think what we love most about this article is that it really lays out how naturopathic medicine can complement conventional medicine.
Yep.
And it talks about naturopathic doctors focusing on whole person care, taking more time with patients, and really digging into root causes, which is exactly what so many of us with chronic illness are looking for when we feel dismissed or rushed through a 10-minute doctor's appointment.
Give me a me too if you feel that's happened to you.
Seriously. We will feel those me toos from across wherever you are.
Seriously. And it also points out that naturopathic doctors can be a great addition to a care team, especially for people with complex chronic conditions, but that they're still underutilized in the healthcare system.
It's true.
It's crazy.
And the article reminds us to be smart consumers. So make sure we're seeing licensed providers and to combine that holistic approach with evidence-based conventional care when needed.
Yes. So what's the bottom line? The research says that holistic or naturopathic care can be helpful, especially when it's collaborative and focused on root causes. But It's not a magic bullet, and many say that it works best when paired with a good primary care relationship. And on that note, let's answer the next biggest question we hear, Room. How do they differ from regular doctors? Like, I love my doctor.
Yeah.
Love her.
Good question.
Right. How do they differ?
So one of the biggest differences is time. And we brushed on this just before, and this was part of that article we read. When I go to my primary care doctor, I'm lucky if I even get 15 minutes. A naturopath often spends 45 to 90 minutes with you at your first visit. So like really digging into your history.
Right. And it's like that. Think about it, 45 to 90 minutes, like that is a really great chunk of time. So just that time spent, I feel like makes you feel heard, right?
Yeah, that's longer than a therapy session.
It really is. And, they also tend to look at just the whole picture, right? So like your sleep, stress, gut health, environment, not just your symptoms. And that can feel really validating when you've been brushed off elsewhere. And that is exactly kind of what my brother dealt with. Before he made the decision to go a different route. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. But it's important to note that they don't usually prescribe medications in the same way an MD does. So depending on your state, they may not even be licensed to. And they usually lean more towards supplements, diet, and lifestyle. And that's what Kevin is doing.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
All right. You ready for the next question we get all the time?
All right. Let's hear it.
Fun one. Cost and insurance.
This is a tricky one. This is the part I feel like people are always curious about, the cost, because most naturopaths are cash pay. First visits can range anywhere from $150 to $500, and follow-ups are usually less, but still out of pocket. And it's important to note that the cost is usually just for your time with the doctor. So labs and tests aren't automatically included in what you pay the naturopath. And I know my brother is going through this. He's dropped a couple $1,000. He'll tell us exactly the amount, but for him, it was worth it, right, to get answers. So
so like if they order blood work or stool tests or hormone panels, those are typically billed separately. Sometimes they will draw labs right in their office and send them to a conventional lab like Quest or LabCorp, which means your insurance might cover them. And I actually have experience with this because those are the companies my fertility clinics use.
Oh, is it?
But only some of the tests are covered, and others we have to pay for. And I'll be really honest with you, they're expensive.
Yikes.
So it's really important to call your insurance and ask, and always double check before you say yes.
Yes. And, just to be transparent, this can be a barrier. Yes. It's a privilege to even access this type of care.
It really is. So I guess our tip is before you agree to anything, ask for a price list and ask whether they can run the order through your regular insurance. Some naturopaths are really great about working with you to keep costs down, and others just assume you'll pay cash for everything.
And if you have an HSA or an FSA, a lot of those expenses, both the visits and the tests, can be paid through that, which at least makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's really nice to know. I don't know if everybody knows that.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I actually want to know more about this myself. What would you expect at your first visit?
Yeah, let's talk about what actually happens, because it's not like walking into your regular primary care office. I mean, you're about to sit in the chair and spend 45 to 90 minutes in the hot seat. Okay.
The hot seat. I like that. Yes, first of all, plan for a longer appointment. Like we said, that first visit is usually 60 to 90 minutes, sometimes even 2 hours, and they're going to take a deep dive into your health history. So like, step one, the intake paperwork alone is very long and detailed. Most clinics will send you a packet or an online form to fill out ahead of time. And these will often ask about like your full medical history, your family health history, medications and supplements you're taking, your diet, sleep habits, stress levels, exercise, environment. Sometimes mental health, menstrual cycles, or digestion details.
Yeah, it's like you literally need to come with all the data.
Yes, and I love that. I am a special ed teacher. Bring me the data. Like, I want all of it.
I want to see it. So you should have recent, copies of your lab results, medication lists, and any specialist notes. It saves time and money. And I think these days a lot of us have the apps. We have the My Chart or
which is nice.
Yeah, so you're able to kind of pull it up and look and see right in there. But once you're in the room, you want to expect to do a lot of talking. They'll ask follow-up questions and really want to connect the dots between your symptoms. But again, validating, right?
So
I'm like excited for whoever's doing this next. Maybe it's going to be me.
If you've ever felt rushed out of a conventional appointment, this is your chance to tell the full story for sure. But I guess it can also feel intense at the same time.
Yeah.
So I would suggest bringing notes about your top concerns so you don't forget anything.
That is so, so smart. I've done that before when I've had questions like prior to a surgery, or just questions about a new diagnosis. So, and then they'll do a physical exam, which is good. They may check your vitals, listen to your heart, lungs, examine your abdomen, or look at, tongue, skin, nails, all that stuff, depending on their approach. Some use traditional physical exams and others use more alternative assessments like iridology or muscle testing. And ask what they're doing because I don't know. I'd be like, what is
I've heard of muscle testing before.
So is it like I had when I have my migraines, and they wanted to see if it was like related to nerves. I went and got this test done where they like zapped me. They sent these like little zaps into my muscles and my nerves, and it was like.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what it is. If you've ever had muscle testing, send us like a message and let us know what it entails.
Now that we're talking about this, now I have to figure out what's the test that I had, and was that actual muscle testing or was it more of nerve testing that I did?
True, it could be. Go on your My Chart and dig around.
Yeah.
The next thing is going to be testing recommendations. So this is usually where they'll suggest labs or specialty tests. And like we said earlier, these are usually separate costs. So ask what's essential versus nice to have.
Yes. And you're going to get a personalized plan. I remember when my brother called me, he left with like a booklet.
I love that. I love information.
I was like, wow. He's like, let me get to this page as he's like sharing the news with me. So you can expect to leave with diet or lifestyle recommendations, just meal adjustments, sleep hygiene, stress reduction, supplement recommendations. They may sell them in-house, or you can ask, if there's alternatives elsewhere. And then just like a follow-up plan, when to come back, what labs to complete, what they'll be checking next. So they're like literally arming you with everything you need to know when you leave. Sometimes you leave the doctor and you're like.
And I'm like, what did they just say?
What
am I doing?
Right. And are they going to tell my gastro? Are they also going to tell my, right? You have all these questions. You're going to leave armed.
Yeah, you're going to leave armed. But remember, it is okay to feel overwhelmed at the end of this first visit. Just take the plan home, look it over, and ask follow-up questions before spending a ton on supplements or tests.
Yes, and a good naturopath should be open to that conversation. You don't have to say yes to everything on the spot. I hate when I'm in the hot seat and I'm like, I don't know how I feel. Can we talk about it tomorrow?
And when you only get 15 minutes with the doctor and you have no access to them, you feel pressured to have that immediate yes, whereas this feels a little more open.
Yeah, and it's important to give yourself that time to process and think.
Next thing I think is really important for us to cover is finding the right doctor.
Yeah, so let's say you've decided, all right, you want to try working with a naturopath. How do you even find the right one? It can feel super overwhelming to even find someone good.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah.
So first of all, you want to make sure you're looking for someone who's actually licensed and qualified. In the U.S., you can look for someone who has completed a degree from an accredited naturopathic medical school and has passed the NPLEX boards if you're seeking a naturopathic doctor. And you can check the American Association of Naturopathic Physicians, or AANP, directory online to find licensed NDs in your state.
And if you're seeing a more general holistic or functional medicine doctor, you can use resources like the Institute of Functional Medicine's practitioner search, or even check for MDs or DOs who are certified in integrative medicine. And this will just kind of help make sure you're not just seeing someone who took a quick weekend crash course in nutrition and now they're calling themselves holistic.
Exactly.
We don't want you getting scammed out there. No, we've got you.
We've got you. I think another thing to look for is their approach. Do they spend time listening? Do they focus on evidence-based care? And most times you can get a sense of this from their website or even a quick intro call. So many will offer free 10 to 15-minute discovery calls, and you can use that time to ask how they approach root cause care, how they integrate with conventional medicine, and what kind of tests they run.
I love that. I love that. And then, finally talk to people. Ask friends or online communities for recommendations are so smart to do.
Yeah. And there are also Facebook groups and Reddit threads where people share their experience with local providers. But just take those with a grain of salt and do your own follow-up research.
Yes, I know. It's so much stuff out there.
Yes.
Just telling my third graders today, can't believe everything you read online, guys.
Exactly.
All right. And the final $1 million question, does it actually help?
Yeah.
So the answer is sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of people with chronic illness feel like they finally get answers through functional or naturopathic medicine. So, stay tuned too, because we have a few special interviews coming up with people who have personally had success with these type of doctors.
Yeah.
My brother being one of them.
Yeah. For me, I've actually been exploring this for digging deeper into root causes, especially with gut health and fertility support. I think I told you I met with a holistic doctor in Germany.
Yes, I know. When you said that, I'm like, wow.
And she did. She gave me a 30-minute discovery call, actually. And I haven't, Anthony and I have not made the decision if we're going with her or not yet, but she sends me a voice note every other day just to check in on me, which I think it just goes to show the level of care.
Okay,
She looks at all my stories. She's just like, I just want to check in on you. She remembered when my doctor's appointment was, and she's like, how was your doctor's appointment? I've been thinking about you.
Okay, that is a level of care that just brings a smile to my face. That's amazing.
But with all that being said, this is not magic. It does take time, effort, and often really big lifestyle changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes it's a combination of conventional and holistic care that makes the biggest difference.
So true. And I have to say, it also has to do with where you are in your life.
Yes.
And do you have the time to actually really invest, not just financially, but in the lifestyle and nutrition changes that need to be made?
Right.
So as many of you know, my Hashimoto's made a nasty return a few months ago. At the same exact time, my brother was newly diagnosed with Hashimoto's as well. It's he is my brother, but it is still weird. I'm stop trying to copy me.
Yeah.
He is treating his Hashimoto's, though, through the holistic approach with diet changes and supplements, and he's doing extremely well.
Yeah.
And I'm over here popping the prescription pill, levothyroxine. Is that how you say it? Levothyroxine.
Yeah.
I practiced a few times because it is easy, and I felt better within a week. So it really is a personal choice. I even said to my brother, I admire that you're doing that. I really would love to do it, but just teaching full time, being a mom,
right,
struggling with my esophagus, trying to navigate eating during the day. I don't have the bandwidth right now to dive into that. And it really is easier to take my prescription pill to help with my thyroid for now.
I think a point you made before is really important, actually. Do you have the time to actually invest in the lifestyle and nutrition changes? Because when they say you have to eat these specific foods, they're telling you that for a reason.
Right.
Those things are going to heal you.
Right.
And if you can't follow that, you aren't going to see results.
Right.
And then why are you spending all that money?
Right, exactly. And I got to tell you, I think my brother had to quit cheese, and I'm not ready to quit cheese yet. I can't quit cheese yet. I'm not ready.
I would cry so hard.
One time I tried to quit cheese, and then I overate cheese, and now I just have an overeating cheese problem.
Me too. I come home every day and eat cheese.
So, but you have to honor where you're at. And that's what I love when I talk to my brother about this. We just respect where each other is. You know, I'm just taking the traditional route right now. And I would love to, though, dabble in, pairing this holistic approach with what I do when the time feels right. And I think that goes back to trusting your gut. Trusting your gut and doing what feels right for you. You may be listening to this and you're like, I love this idea, but not at this time in my life, you know?
Yeah. So we hope that all this information gives you a good starting point if you've been considering seeing a naturopath or holistic approach.
And always, we'd love to hear from you. Have you tried working with a naturopath or functional medicine doctor? What was your experience? We'd love to know.
Yes.
Did you have to quit cheese?
Yeah, please let us know if you had to quit cheese. Okay, so before we wrap up, I think we should do a quick pros and cons list for naturopathic and holistic care because we love leaving you with something clear and practical.
All right, let's do. We'll start with pros. Let's do it. We'll start with pros. First, I think, and foremost, more time with you. Longer, more detailed visits that dig into your full health history.
Yep.
Root cause approach. I love this.
This is the biggest one, I think.
Yes, they're focusing on underlying issues, not just the symptom management, which I feel like is usually what happens when we go to our regular primary care doctors. Whole body perspective. So you're looking at your lifestyle and nutrition, mental health, and your environment.
Yep.
And that collaborative care can complement conventional medicine and give you just more options. And then empowerment.
Yep.
Helps you feel more in control to your health through education and lifestyle changes. Like you're stepping into the power, right?
Yeah, it's true. So the cons.
All right, let's hear the cons. We love a good pro and con list.
We do.
Right, give us the cons.
It's costly. It's often cash pay with limited or no insurance coverage. It's not regulated everywhere. So licensing varies by state, and some practitioners may have little formal training. It can get expensive fast. Testing and supplements can add up quickly on top of what you're paying for the appointments.
Right.
Time and commitment. Lifestyle changes and follow-ups can be demanding. And then risk of false promises. Some providers may overpromise or discourage conventional care.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to consider. So if you are considering it, weigh these against your own needs and your budget. And remember, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can combine conventional and holistic care to create a plan that works for you.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Finding the balance in it all.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yes.
And like this doctor that I met with, I might not be able to use her completely, but she's willing to help me just like look at some things. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do all or nothing. Like that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
You make that choice. They don't.
Right. Exactly. You are in the power. Step into your power. Well, this was fun. And I'm excited to kind of highlight this throughout the season by having different guests on. I can't wait for you guys to meet my brother.
Yeah.
Kevo.
Kevo.
So stay tuned for all the goodness.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, if you have been enjoying the podcast, we want to tell you that the best way you can support us is by leaving a 5-star rating and a written review wherever you listen to your podcast. That really is the only way we can reach more people, grow the show, and keep having these important conversations.
Yes. And go to our show notes or our social media and sign up for our email list. It is the best way to keep up with everything we've been up to. So episode drops, and avoid getting lost in the ever-changing social media algorithms.
Oh, they frustrate me.
And you can follow us at I've Got Guts Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook.
And you can email us at I'veGotGutsPodcast@gmail.com.
All right, everyone. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.